Good morning, happy Saturday. I'm going to tell you the process to bring your pets over. We brought 2 cats over, our little babies, from America to Portugal. There are certain steps and everything is very timed. So I'm going to tell you our experience and how we handled it. We used 2 resources, the USDA site and Americans and Friends PT on Facebook. So the first step is they need to get an international microchip. Okay? That has to be done at least 21 days before you go to Portugal. We left on day 22. No, we left on day 21. We landed in Portugal on day 22. So that's how timed we were. Like we had it. They must have updated rabies shot. And even if it's more than for a year, even if it's like a 3-year shot, it's only going to be a year in Portugal. That shot has to be done after the microchip. However, it can be done the same day. After means they have to scan it and then do the shot. But they know this. Go to a vet's office that has USDA certified vets so that they know this process. We went to Banfield and Dr. Phillips in Orlando, and they were professionals. So one day we got their shots and their microchip done. Then 6 days before we left, although you have 10 days, we got their USDA appointment. So what that entails is they do a full physical, they make sure that you do all the guideline, and they do a 15-page paperwork for Portugal. So that's what you're paying for, is the paperwork, not so much the physical. Although I can tell you they did really do a physical and checked out. We found out that Fury had an extra tooth. Who knew? Yeah, so that's what's going to be the main thing, because you need to have that technically in person, depending on the state that you leave from. We left from Massachusetts. You must have a physical copy with you. I will tell you that at the vet in Portugal, they never checked. Never once. Okay, so let's go. So now we've had the USDA appointment. We had it done on a Tuesday, and we had the email with the paperwork on Thursday, and that same day, because I had it mailed up to my daughter in Connecticut, she had the paperwork already. It was FedEx to her. That is an extra charge. You have to do it. There are some states that you can go to an office, but that's right now with government offices, be very careful. You're a little luckier if you are going through the military, if you are in the military, because you can do a military vet, and that the process is a little easier from what I've heard. Can't tell you firsthand. It was not a bad process. The worst thing was, my cats were COVID cats, and they have had people work at home for their entire lives. So just getting them out of the house was kind of rough. They had no ill effects from anything. They don't know the microchip, nothing. We go to leave in Boston, and it was great. We left through TAP. They looked at what little paperwork they even glanced at, which was nothing. They did look at where the cats were sitting in their bags, nothing. And then when we went through security, what you can do is request a private room. Now, our cats, like I said, skittish. They only like Joe and I, and they don't even like him all that much. So you ask for a separate room. We do have TSA pre-check, but you can ask for in regular line too. And Joe went aside with them. They checked them out. They're fine. They're good. Babe, how long did that take?
So that process took a whole, like maybe 8 to 10 minutes. They were very accommodating and everything else. So they helped me put Colson back in the bag. And I just want to comment that this was genius idea to do this from start to end, and she did it flawlessly, because there was a lot of moving parts.
There are a lot of moving parts,
but when you break it down,
it's dated.
It's not that bad.
Right, and it's not bad. And at the end, I'll give you just the guidelines that I was going for. So why we did it 6 days or 10 days, you need wiggle room, because there are times when your flights are going to be canceled, they're going to be delayed, but you have that 10 days. So just use your time wisely. We landed in Portugal, in Lisbon. We went to the vet in the airport itself. 48 hours before, at least 48 hours. I gave it maybe 2.5 days. You send an email, a very simple email, and it's all on the USDA site. You send an email saying, hi, I'm going to be coming with my 2 cats, and here's their paperwork. Because there's one piece of paperwork that you have to download, which is on the USDA site. You can do it in a Word doc. It's that easy. It's just saying, yeah, I'm bringing them. They've had everything done. They're all set. Then I included the email that showed that they had their rabies shot, the email from their chip, and the USDA paperwork. So I sent it all to them. They responded in minutes and said, got it. So by the time we got there, we landed at 5:30 in the morning. By around 6, we were at the vet's office. We were the very first people there. It's 6 a.m. We were the very first people there. She was holding our paperwork. I asked her if she wanted to see the originals. She said, no, you already sent everything. I have it. So it took longer for us to get the receipt than it did to actually have the exam and everything. So we were back here by before 11, like maybe 10. Like it took nothing. The stress of the timing, it was more than anything else. So let me again go through the steps. Microchip. That's the number one thing. The first thing you have to worry about is the international microchip. If your pets already have an American microchip, you have 2 options. You can either bring your own scanner so that the vet can read it, or you can get a second microchip. Either is fine. Either is fine. Rabies. Nobody ever asked us for their past medical records. They didn't seem to care. They just wanted to know that they were up to date. We're also coming from America. That is not an at-risk country as far as rabies goes. So we said microchip, rabies, USDA, and then it's that simple email. And I literally just said, hi, I'm Gina and we're coming. And I just made sure that all the paperwork I just attached it. And a lot of it that I sent was just screenshots from the vet's office. The only like official thing was really the USDA paperwork. There is a phone number on the USDA site if you have issues. But I will say, go to a vet that you really have trust in. Again, we went through Banfield. They were fantastic. They had done this. She knew exactly what to do. Like, she was fantastic. I was worried because we thought at the latest, time-wise, that it may not be till Monday that I got the physical paperwork. Yeah, they talked to I guess they have a chat option, and they were able to push it through. Not that I ever showed anybody, and not that anybody looked at it, but I have it. And that's it. So it's really just a matter of timing. 21 days, 10 days, 48 hours, and then bam. If you have any questions, though, send me a message. Thank you.